So, little dude and me we've taken up pit bikes. Well, I've had them for a very, very long time. Actually, this orange one used to sit back in that corner behind the welder, and it sat there for years. Years and years and years and years. But anyway, we were riding it the other day. We were a couple miles back into an old mining community. Or not community, old mine, strip mine. And this one just quit. And I think it's either related, everybody tells me the stator, because the coils usually don't go bad. Excuse me, hold on. Coils usually don't go too bad. But I'm not getting a good solid spark. So we're going to change the stator. And all the videos I saw, there's a lot of videos on how to change a stator, but not very many on how to change the rotor. So I'm going to try to change the rotor too, because it came in the kit. Right there. See this right here, silver thing's your rotor. It rotates. The stator's this horseshoe looking willy gig. And this here thing is your coil with your coil wire. So with a new spark plug, this thing will be electrically completely renewed. And I bought it on Amazon. It wasn't very expensive. It was like $45 with free shipping because I have Prime. And it should take spark completely out of the equation. But nobody changed the rotor. They all changed the stator around and left the rotor. I don't know if you need to, but the thing of it is I'm going to have this thing off, and when I have it off, I don't want to go back in. You know what I mean? Alright, let's see what we got to do here. Okay, I'm going to confess, I already had it apart a little bit, but for the speed of this film, we're just going to go ahead and show you this right here. These three screws out, which are all an 8mm, I believe. Yep, 8mm. And on mine, all three are the same length. They're all three exactly the same length. I seen on another video where a guy said that one of his was different. So if yours is, please pay attention to that. But we're going to take this off, and I'm just gonna go right like this. Oops, not gonna reach that. It'll reach this, I think, though. Sorry about that. This was kind of unscripted. Now, I noticed there's no gasket in here on mine. I did see where some of them had a blue gasket in there, and I would imagine you would want to keep that, but for some reason mine did not. Matter of fact, mine has a little notch in it right here, and I think that's like an oil drain. Yeah, you can see where it was. It was right there to let the excess oil drain out. But then we're going to take 13mm on an impact. I already loosened it once. Where did my ratchet go? Dang nabbit. Alright, and then you should be able to just, according to the videos I saw. Ooh, man. Ain't that a bugger? Huh. Alright, we're going to have to pause this until I figure out what's the dealio. Alright, upon closer inspection, I think I found out why nobody changes this. If you look way... Oh, let me find something. See a screwdriver. If you look right back there, that's all the gap I got. So there is no way I would get a puller in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to do like everybody else does and take these screws out. Top one, bottom one. Sorry. Not looking through the camera. Top one and bottom one. Pull this stator out. Unplug it. And then we'll do the coil. And hopefully that cures it. Alright. Here we go. Alright. So 4mm. Take this sucker out. I already loosened them before I did this, so. That one. See ya. Dad's leaving. Alright. And then you take this sucker. And if you hold your mouse just right, and pull this out, you can slide it right out over these. And then
Rose has her dance recital,
we'll
and Barry has army, so George would have to go again.
That one.
Time on Sunday. He can't go into the dressing room.
Unplug this guy.
Stay with my mom, which is fine. I have an extra ticket, but
That guy right there, off the top of the coil.
prefer to drop them off at your house. Well, yeah.
And then we'll unplug it from the
Friday.
kill switch.
Yeah.
And there we go. Now we're going to change that coil too, because it came in the kit. That's the new one. And I think if I can't get a... Well, I guess it's not on the back. I'm going to have to take out these mounting bolts here. There's two bolts that mount the bracket that this sits on. These have nuts on the back of them, so I think it'd be easier if I just did it here and then pulled the whole thing out. And I'm also going to take out that guy right there for the ground wire off the coil. Okay, new coil coming up. Well, we gotta unplug it from the spark plug first too, huh? Huh. And that one is not a 4mm. Maybe it's a 5. And it is a 5. do is take this off the bracket. And it's an 8mm and an 11mm. Oh. Hot diggity. These nuts are welded. I could have just took them off. Oh well. Too late now. Still think it might have been easier this way. And there we go. Alright, straight into reassembly. New coil. La, 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 la. And we're just kind of reversing everything we just done engineered off. Out of my way, ground wire. Now, you might be wondering why I didn't go through my normal testing procedures. And here's why. I found that, I don't like spending money if I don't have to in most cases, except when it makes sense to spend money. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, there are sometimes jobs you do that are kind of like, well, while I was in there, I might as well take care of this, that, and the other thing, kind of a thing. Oops. Dang it. And what I found is that I could buy, I knew I needed either a coil or a stator. Now, most of the time I heard that these coils don't go bad. But, anything's possible. So I jumped online, was looking at parts prices, and a stator was like 35 bucks. And a coil was like $30. And I knew it was one of the two things. I already tested out the switch. I figured it wasn't the problem. First and the easiest thing to do is to change out the spark plug, and I already did that. And I knew that wasn't the problem. I knew I had compression, and I knew I had basically a wet spark plug. The gas was new, so I knew that wasn't the problem. Honestly, there wasn't very much more it could have been. So now we're going to reattach our ground wire to that same screw, just like we done did before. Ooh, this one sucker barely fits in there. Might have to let that one kind of align itself as it goes in. I mean, the ground's a ground, it's just got to touch metal to be good, so. But anyway, I found out I could get a coil and a stator for $45 if I bought them as a set. And that just really made sense to me, because why wouldn't you, for $10 extra, give yourself a little bit of peace of mind and change the other component that may or may not fail in the future? And that's also why I was originally going to change the rotor, until I seen that, well, quite frankly, it's going to be impossible to change a rotor. Not without some expert tools that I do not have. And the rotor is just basically a magnet, so as long as you don't demag it, it should be good. Alright. Now it's time to slide my new stator in. Now, like I said, if you come from the side, should just tuck right in. Basically just like that. Oh wait, I'm going to put a little Loctite on them. A little bit of the blue stuff. What I'm doing. Now basically you got 1, 2, 3 points that hold this thing centered. I read online that you needed to gap it 13 thousandths and adjust as necessary, but what I'm finding is there's no adjusting this. Alright, put a little blue Loctite on this guy. that guy on. And we're gonna give this like one ugga. One ugga dugga. Yeah, it shouldn't take much. Okay. Now let's clip this from earlier. Like I said, mine had no gasket. I see no reason to put a gasket where there was no gasket. Oh, dang it. I almost forgot. Gotta get this sucker on there. That little rubber stopper thingy. And leave these ones kind of dry on account of if they come loose. They're on the outside and you can tighten them pretty easy. Now you don't want to go full tilt mongoose on these things because they're steel bolts into an aluminum housing. Alright, I take this wire, goes up to the coil, kabam, and this wire goes to your kill switch, kabam. Now, if this is all good, I'll tie these up tomorrow. But we're getting late in the day, and I want to see if this sucker fires. Still a little gas in her. Sorry, getting this fuel line on is a little tough. Should have done it before I set the gas tank down, but chokes on. Alright. I'm sorry, but it was kind of flooded last time, so let's try this again. Oop. Didn't need to choke. Not bad. That's one done. Ta-da.